I'm Jay Horton. I make movies that make money. This is how. The state of independent film is ever changing, and so my channel here will change as well. As I was looking back over my past videos, yeah, that's something I do, it really hit me how fast things are changing. Things that were working great for indie films 2 or 3 years ago, like DVD sales, are not working nearly as well today. And things that weren't so hot back then, like streaming, AVOD, SVOD, are working like gangbusters now. I mean, back in 2015, I was killing it with DVDs. But in the past 3 years, my DVD sales have become almost non-existent. And yes, I'm well aware that there are filmmakers who still do well with DVD sales. It's just not the norm, and that market is shrinking daily. As far as streaming goes, I've been killing it through SVOD the past few years. But over the past few months, with the rise of AVOD, that's starting to change. Now, I am still making more overall from SVOD than either TVOD or AVOD, but my TVOD sales are climbing significantly. I expect them to overtake my SVOD sales within the year. And for the first time ever, I'm showing significant returns from AVOD. So why do I bring this up? I very much like doing this channel and giving you fine folk updates on what's working for me in the world of independent distribution and marketing, and what I perceive to be working for others. But like I've said many times before, take it all with a grain of salt. Whereas something I say now might very well be true today, in a few months, it might not hold as much water. Things change that fast. Which is why, as filmmakers, it's honestly very important to keep up on what's going on in our industry, and I hope that I can be that useful source of information for you. When I started this channel, I was super into Amazon for filmmakers, and not to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty knowledgeable about it. I've honestly built up a good bit of my subscriber base because of my specific knowledge about Amazon and how to make money there. But as those Amazon numbers fall and continue to fall, all of us indie filmmakers have to find new and different paths to exhibit our films, where we can make up for the income we're losing through Amazon's rate drops. And that's something I plan to talk more about in the not too distant future: alternate platforms and revenue streams for independent films. That's something I get asked about a lot. I used to recommend strongly that people used Prime Video Direct to upload themselves to Amazon, but this is just one of those things that's changed. I don't upload myself to Prime Video Direct anymore, and I don't recommend that others do it either. Now, I still get stuff to Amazon, just not myself. 1 year ago, I uploaded almost everything I was self-distributing there, but with the rates falling on Amazon and other distributors or marketplaces preferring that you release on Amazon through them, and them giving you incentive to do so, like better placement on other platforms where the rates might be a little more favorable to Amazon, hello Tubi and Pluto, it now makes more sense, to me anyway, to give up the 20% that FILMHUB takes off the back end for placing you on Amazon to get to some of those other platforms that you can't get to on your own. And over the last 6 months or so, this technique has been working very well for me. But who knows where things will land in another 6 months or a year from now. For right now, to get my movies to market, I'm mainly using FILMHUB and a distributor, Indie Rights. And for others making indie movies on the smallish side, with budgets under, say, $200,000, that's the method I most generally recommend right now. Of course, every project is unique, and that method might not be the best one for your individual project. For those that are interested, I do offer marketing and distribution consultations through my Patreon. But for now, the method I mentioned before works really well for me. Filmmaker tips for filmmakers. I went into a few filmmaker groups and asked some of my fellow movie makers how they were dealing with the ever-changing distribution landscape. I see many VOD outlets are saying it is the end of old Hollywood, so now it's too late to go there as an indie. Now theatrical cinema is struggling and the glamorous red carpet premieres are gone, a thing of the past after COVID. And with the rest of the world in poverty, such displays of wealth are tasteless and rejected by film audiences. It is a new era, and we must adapt. Yeah, okay. I think one thing I can really agree with in that statement is that adaptation is key for indie filmmakers. After 4 years, Amazon no longer works for me for self-distribution, unless you have star power. I've looked into having my content distributed by an actual distribution company that can get my productions to several platforms. I can't. This filmmaker's frame of mind is not unusual. Amazon is paying a fraction of what it used to, and very few are earning substantial amounts there. But, as I've said in the past, it's not impossible to make money there. It may be in decline, but if you have a strong product with a well-defined audience that uses Amazon, and you know how to market proper, you can still use Amazon as a strong component of your indie distribution strategy. At least for now. As SVOD is in decline, going to a good AVOD platform has been the right direction for me. IMDb TV, Roku channel, Tubi, Pluto TV, etc. However, SVOD is still better, but the AVOD numbers are helping to make up the difference in losses from what I made before. I'm starting to find this to be true as well. In fact, I'd say that within the next 12 months, my AVOD earnings could very well surpass my SVOD earnings, but we'll see. I'm turning all my screenplays into radio plays, which is not the easiest task. You go from show, don't tell, to tell, don't show. Okay, a little off topic, but I included this because it's a pretty good concept. As indie filmmakers, we have to accept the possibility that certain projects will never happen. But are some of those concepts strong enough to transfer to a different medium? I've written over 20 feature screenplays that haven't been made yet. If I got the opportunity to make one of those a year, I'd be into my late 60s before it all happened. Are there other mediums that some of these stories might be better served by? I've personally started turning several of my old screenplays into novels, and I'm looking into self-publishing. I'll be talking more about that soon. But for now, I'm looking towards the future of both indie filmmaking and the kind of stuff I want to talk about on this channel. Over the next few months, I'll be experimenting a bit with a few new types of content. Just one of the things I'm going to do is one by one, I'm going to take you guys through every feature film I've produced or directed. I'll talk about how I got the movie made or how I was hired to make the movie. We'll talk about how much the movie made, if I know, and what I did to promote it. We'll talk about what I may have done wrong, what I'd do differently if I was making the movie now. It'll be fun and informative, I hope, to look back at over 30 feature films. And of course, I'll still be releasing my regular type content too, and I'm open to any ideas you guys might have. Sound off in the comments. The only thing I'm not really going to tackle much here is technical filmmaking stuff. Gears, lights, technique. The way I figure it, there's already thousands of channels with filmmakers doing those exact things, and a lot of them are much more knowledgeable about that stuff than I. Let me know what you want to see, but whatever you do, keep making movies.